No. A bit old fashioned.
Do you ever sometimes feel like there's more going on in that pint in front of you to contemplate for the rest of your life?
You want a free shot of it, you know? You want a free shot of it, who's that? Looking over, that's the little Jimmy Cranky over there. Come on, you fuck off, I'm pest.
To the people playing on their phones right now, or talking amongst themselves. I know it's a pub, but quiet when people are talking. To the person at the bar that you keep on making eye contact with, and you think they might fancy them, but really they're just being nice. To people who cry too much when they drink. To people who know a night out is a marathon and not a sprint. To people you haven't met tonight, but maybe you will. To the people who know where the nearest fire exits are. To people who we rub shoulders with at the bar, or in the toilets, or on the bus, or waiting for a train, and we think there might be a connection, but there isn't. To the managers, to the bartenders, to the landlord for letting us be here tonight, make sure you spend a lot of money so they might have us back again soon. To people holding hands, locked in a deep stare, longing for a connection that'll last forever. To people who love the sound of their own voices. To the people in the bar who didn't know this was on, but stayed anyway. Cheers. To people who are drinking cocktails tonight with disgusting names like Black Eye, or Donkey Punch, or Unicorn Vomit, or Sand in Your Vagina, or Brain Hemorrhage, or Dirty Rabbi, or a Carling Shandy. To the person at the bar who was the first one in and who will be the last one out. To people who didn't wash their hands after going to the bathroom. To people who give you a helping hand when you're down. And to the people who fitted the condom machines, just in case. Cheers.
They only fell for around 10 to 12 seconds.
A man walks into a bar. A man walks into a bar and takes a seat. A man walks into a bar, takes a seat, and the waitress comes over. A man walks into a bar, takes a seat, the waitress comes over. What'll it be?
He's doing some more. He's doing some more. Put your hand up. He's finished those. Unbelievable.
To the people who couldn't be here tonight. To realising your full potential and never quite using it. To Mr. Bean. Without you and your presence on telly growing up, I wouldn't have pursued such a career.
This guy.
To again never quite realising your full potential. To people you've fallen in love with who never loved you back. To making dens with your friends when you were kids and then taking girls there and, you know. To Jack's older brother, thank you for buying us alcohol when we were underage. To people you call every day just to be reminded that you can no longer go drinking on a Tuesday because of silly responsibilities like children. To Walton Junior School class of 1999, without you, I wouldn't have had an audience for my shenanigans that again led me here. To friends that give you a helping hand when you're down. To people who love the sound of their own voices. To my grandma Margaret, thank you for letting me ice cream for breakfast when I stayed over. To my mum and dad, cheers for letting me be a mistake. To my granddad Jeff, cheers for teaching me maths. I've never really quite used it. Again to my mum and dad, cheers for lending me money that I'll never be able to pay back. To people you used to kiss behind the bike sheds, to people you'd like to kiss behind the bike sheds, to the people who built the bike sheds. Cheers. A man walks into a bar. A man walks into a bar, takes a seat. A man walks into a bar, takes a seat. The waitress comes over. A man walks into a bar, takes a seat. The waitress comes over. What will it be? A man walks into a bar, takes a seat. The waitress comes over. What will it be? The waitress goes. A man walks into a bar, takes a seat. The waitress comes over. What will it be? Can I have a Bloody Mary in the menu, please? Man walks into a bar, takes a seat, the waitress comes over, what will it be? Can I have a Bloody Mary in the menu, please? The waitress leaves and comes back. A man walks into a bar, takes a seat, the waitress comes over, what will it be? Can I have a Bloody Mary in the menu, please? The waitress goes, comes back. The man asks, are you still serving breakfast?
Sorry, it's funny. I just think you might be losing it.
To the butcher, to the baker, to the candlestick maker, to Ron Howard, Ron Vorter, L. Ron Hubbard, to awkward beard growth, to East End boys and West End girls, to pilots who land us there safely, to Karl Marx, to Marx and Sparks, to exposing yourself in parks, to the people who all have a friend named Dave, to White Lightning, to John Smiths, to Smirnoff, to Bombay Sapphire, to Johnny Walker, to Noel Edmonds, to Doris Day, to Spalding Gray, to Come What May, to my Uncle Ned and my Auntie Faye, to the people who built the bike sheds, to the hops, and to the wheat, and to the barley, and to the yeast, and to those caramel notes. To people who are people persons, to Tupac and Biggie Smalls, to Family Feuds and prank phone calls, to Jim Beam, Jim Davidson, Jim'll Fix It, to Clark Shoes, Blues Clues, Breaking Rules, to people we envy and wish we were more like, to wearing shorts in February, to Goldie Hawn, Goldilocks and Goldie looking chain, to double standards, to equal opportunities, to double entendres, to world peace. Cheers. A man walks into a bar and takes a seat. The waitress comes over. I'll have a Bloody Mary in the menu, please. The waitress leaves and comes back. The man asks, "Are you still serving breakfast?" When the waitress says yes, the man says, "Well, in that case, can I have 2 eggs, runny on top and burnt at the bottom, 5 slices of burnt toast, 2 rations of bacon on end, well done on one end, still raw on the other, and a cold cup of coffee." Indignantly, the waitress says, "We don't serve that kind of stuff here." "Funny," says the guy. "That's exactly what I had here yesterday." So this is the end. They're both lying in bed. He says, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" She says, "A weather girl." He says, "A weather girl, eh?" She says, "What's wrong with that?" He says, "Nothing. I think the term's meteorologist, love." She says, "What?" He says, "It's a good thing you're beautiful, you know that." She says, "Is that all you think of me?" "When exactly was it that you fell in love with me?" He says, "I never said I was." She said, "But you are." He says, "I tend not to fall in love. Falling in love is the only socially accepted form of mental illness. I tend not to do things I think might be crazy." She looks at him. He says, "We were sat downstairs at the smoking area of that bar. We were on our own down there." And she said, "There was a lot of noise above us, wasn't there?" He says, "That was the entrance. So there was a lot of people up there." And she said, "And at that moment, tens of cigarettes fell down into the canal across from us." And he said, and you said, and she said, "Don't they look like fireworks?" He said, "And then you kissed me." She said, "I kissed you." "That's not right, because I certainly wouldn't kiss you first." They both held the moment. She smiled, turned away, and said, "Do you know why they call it falling? It's because it's irreversible when it happens. You can't stop yourself once you start. You can make preparations, steady yourself to land carefully, but it doesn't always work. It's why I don't do it. I just don't fall. And tomorrow, when you wake up, you're going to go to the bar. And you're going to come up to me and ask me if I'm still serving breakfast. And when I say yes, you're going to ask for 2 eggs, runny on top, burnt on the bottom, 5 slices of burnt toast, 2 rations of bacon on end, well done on one end, and still raw on the other, and a cold cup of coffee. Guess what? That's what you had yesterday. It's what you had today. And we'll keep on playing this over and over again until we learn to land in love.
There we go. I'm trying to things as a lad.
Sorry. To you, to people and to things that pick things up, like cranes and buses and taxis, to burnt toast, to being what you wanted to be when you grew up, to bad breakfasts, bad decisions, bad kisses, bad breath, uncomfortable shoes, to falling in love with a waitress, to talking shite, to Barry White, to covering up cracks, Goldman Sachs, unused train tracks, to it's not me, it's you, to being all out of love and so lost without you, for knowing you were right but for leaving for so long, to falling in love being the only socially accepted form of mental illness, to being polite to us, to things that fall, and to